Hello, welcome to Ephemera Files by Tommy. And today I am sharing with you one of the most practical, most unsellable journals I have ever made. And I made it in conjunction with Dear Julie and her hashtag AAGJJC, April Anything Goes Junk Journal Challenge. And I'll tell you right now, you're going to hear beeping. My Metronet line was cut, and so my ADT is letting me know it doesn't have internet connection. So my apologies for that. This is, well, I called it a pretty pocketbook. It's not so pretty, but I already love it because I love the concept, I love the idea, and I am really happy with the way it turned out. I don't expect anybody to buy it, so I wasn't worried about making it, beautiful and appealing to everybody's eyes. This is a pocketbook, as in pocket book. I am using it as a reference for all different types of pockets and things that I want to put in my journals, because sometimes you can get in a rut and continue doing the same thing over and over and over again because you just kind of rely on it. So here we go, and right off the bat, I sewed the cover on upside down. I didn't even cover it yet. I probably will, so nobody will know that it's upside down unless they watch this video. But there we go. I've got 5 signatures in it. I'm not sure how many pages. I wasn't worried about counting it, but then again, I hardly ever worry about counting it. I'm going to sit down real quick because my ankle is hurting. It is just the size of Ziploc flexible totes, jumbo size tote box. And I did have fun, even though I only made it in I think just about 2 weeks because I couldn't even work on it before then. So here we go. First thing I'm going to show you, let's see. No, the first thing I need to tell you is I went through and I made a list of things that I could make for each of the letters, and I will link my introduction video below because you can actually get a good idea of what I had to pull from. I didn't use all of these ideas, but I think I'm probably going to go through and put all of these ideas in here. That's the kind of journal that this is going to be, or is already. I'm going to see if I can make sure and point out each of the items that I made as well, that for each letter. So I'm going to go ahead and start here, and this was J, and J was a Junk and Jewels paper clip. And I have a paper clip I found on the ground, an old washer, a dog tag I found on the ground, a chain I found on the ground. Let's see. And then I added jump rings, a jump ring with some seed beads there, and some different pieces of charms and broken jewelry, along with other seed beads onto the chain. And I clipped it onto the spine, but it could go anywhere. Some of the things that I made to go in this journal to fill out the alphabet won't be staying in this journal. They were part of the requirements, and so I had to make them. So I cheated a little bit. Some of the things that I made that are in here are put in with, let's see, what are they called? Temporary dots, glue dots. They're glue dots, but they're removable, so that I can take them out and put them into something else, because I don't need multiples of the very exact same pocket. Like I said, it's a reference. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Like I said, it's not beautiful. There's some beautiful things in here, but it doesn't have to be beautiful. It just has to be what I need it to be. And there's not a lot of stuff on the pages because I want room to add all of my other ideas on here. But as I'm flipping through, you get to see a bunch of Julie's beautiful digitals. All right, this is letter Q. This is one of 3, and this is for the quilt quad pocket. And I created this like a quilt pattern, and each of these little tags is in a pocket. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. Then, now let's see if I can get these back in here in the right direction. Then, because certain of the items, I think 3 of the items that we made had to have, three of the items we had to make, no, how did that go? 12 of the items, how did that go? Yes, 12 of the items we had to make 3 of. And each of those items, I need to add a little glue right there, I saw that poke through. Each of those items had to be embellished or enhanced with 3 different things. For example, this one is inked, and I have messy thread, and I have this piece of paper that I used glossy accents on after cutting a circle out of it that I added on there. So those are my embellishments for that one. This is one of them that's on the removable dots, because I'm definitely not going to leave that one in there. I'm going to use it in another journal. I feel kind of all over the place. It's been a heck of a day. All right, this is H. This is a halfway home belly band, and I call it a halfway home belly band because halfway is punched with decoration. It's not just a solid belly band, and so I called it halfway home. This is one of them that I made 3 of, so it's got the washi tape and this little digital of Dear Julie Julie's, and then I added white gel pen and gold glitter marker in the center. This is another of the items that I made 3 of. It is an inside out ink splatter index card, because I took tissue paper and splattered ink on the back of it, and then I put glue on the index card and glued it to the ink pad, sealing the ink spots inside on the back side. Then I added washi tape and some of a product called Goosebumps. I don't know if you can see it just makes it look like it's got wet spots on it, like it's got water droplets on it. And I put a puzzle piece on there. And there are 3 of those in here as well. Here I have an undercover underwriting pocket, because it just looks like an envelope. And you open this one up, and it is a pocket back in here, but you open this one up and this pulls down and you've got writing area. Now normally I would put writing paper in here, but I believe this is one. This one will come out. It's removable. And so I didn't line it yet because I want to be able to make sure that whatever I line it with goes with the journal I put it in. This tab I have used as part of the decoration for the zigzag belly band. And I have a video for it that I'll link below. And I have inked it and stamped it, added this piece of digital as a tab, and that is crooked. That's really crooked. Sorry, I got distracted. It doesn't really matter. And then I've got the label, so that's all embellished. Here are my 3 tea bag tag ties that I made, and they have been embellished. This one with ink, with hole reinforcers with a label and a stamp. This one is one of my pretty pressed petals tag. Julie, having all these words that start with the same letter are hard. It's hard. But this is a takeoff on it because I used digital petals and instead of my dried flowers. And then I added a sticker, added some glittery sparkle marker around the sticker, added some lace that I also used the gold sparkle on, and I inked the back. Yeah, that goes there. And then this is the third of them. And on this one, I added a bead, a paper bead that my granddaughter made. Just added that on that other tag, and then I inked and I stamped on the back. And so that's another of my set of 3s. This one isn't part of the challenge. It was what I had left after I cut, I think that, and I folded it together, and I've got a pocket here and a pocket here, and then that flaps over, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm like, that's a good start. That's a good start for something. Here I have a Funky Fun Fold pocket. This one is removable, and I have a video for it I will link. Here's my aged acetate pocket, and I'm not going to keep repeating. I will, if I have a video, link to the video for how to make it. I have embellished this one, because this one I have 3 of, with washi tape and a piece of scrap paper and a label. Here is a quilted quad pocket, and it is embellished. I don't have any tags in any of the pockets, but it's embellished with gold splatter and an ink pen and the label and a vintage ribbon that keeps falling on the floor, and I've not used it yet, and I've had it for a long time, so I stuck it in here, and it'll live in here because this one's one of them that stays. If it has a label on it, it's staying in here. I love these hollyhocks. I love these papers. They're just so beautiful. This is my first time using the hollyhocks and daisies. They're just gorgeous. All right, and here is my X times X exploding envelope pocket. And I have embellished it with, let's see, a selvage color guide, a piece of scrap paper, and a stamp, and it goes up, up, or over. And then that goes up, over, 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 and this one opens. And originally I wanted this to face this way, but my book was too small for it. But it still works because, let's see, then we go close, and you just go clockwise, close, 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 and that'll hold it closed. So it works this way too, but I wanted it to be the other way because then it's an X. But it still works. And it's the X times 10 is the other X. X times X. Here's another of the Funky Fold pockets. This one's going to be permanently in here. And it is stamped and inked and has the label on it. Here's a glassine goodie bag double pocket. And I don't have anything in the pocket. I forgot to put something in there. But on it I have, this is tissue paper that has been inked, and then it's got a die cut on it. And what this is one bag, but when you fold up the bottom and put a piece of paper or something decorative inside of it, you end up with a two-sided pocket out of that one glassine bag. And you could actually have 3 pockets if you didn't glue the very back down. And this is the second of the inside out ink splatter index cards. All the same ingredients on that. This is a magical multiple page tag pocket. There we go. Trying to get all my words. And I've just got it being held with this clothespin. This is one that's going to be coming out. It's removable. But I have added, it's been inked, and I have these 2 pieces of scrap paper. I have some messy thread and a label. And that folds out, and then folds that way. And then this folds out, and that folds that way. And then you've got a pocket back here. So it's a magical multiple, tag pocket. Gosh, why is that so hard to say? All right, here I have one of 3. These are my 3 boho book page beads. And I do have video on that, and I like them. They're not going to stay in here though. Here is a kimono pocket, and I inked. I added washi and a die cut to that little collage there. And how this works, I'll take the paper clip off. This opens up, this opens up, and that opens up, and then this opens up as well. So you've got 3 sheets of writing paper. And then you can also write on this side, and that just tucks right down in there. And then you can write on that side. Obviously, you would probably want to cover it up with some kind of a paper that was more easily written on. But I like the way that turned out. You don't have to have this paper clip on there, but that's just where I placed it for the flip through so that I would have everything all together here. Here is the first of my vellum vignette pockets, and I don't have a tag in there, but I have a back pocket here, and I have a front pocket. And what I need to remember to do is to cut down just a little bit so that front pocket's easier to get into. And it's been embellished with this piece of a ticket that's been inked, and then these little pearls here. And I started to just have 3 because I like 3s, but then it looked like a snowman, so I added a 4th one. Here is my yikes entry, and yikes was for a mistake or an error that has been reimagined. And it is holding this piece of tea-dyed paper, but what I did, I had 2 little envelopes that I glued together wrong for something else that I made in the journal, and I have this book page that I also folded wrong for something else in the journal. So I glued them together right here and added some Velcro here, and now I've got 2 little envelopes here where you can tuck things in, and there's writing space there, and there's a pocket here and a pocket here and a pocket here and a pocket here. And it has been inked and stamped, and I actually was trying to get my gold marker to work and didn't realize that I was doing it on something I had already made. I thought it was a piece of scrap paper sitting over to the side, so I even added to the yikes. But I think it turned out just fine. And that's floating, so you can just put it wherever you want. And I'll have to come up with some kind of a name for it and probably put one for real in the book, or put that one in here. I don't know. I love how her paper, her lace dyed paper turned out. So pretty. Here is an over the edge pocket, and right there is the pocket on this side, and you get a pocket on the back side. Now I only decorated one side of it with ink and with a cutout. I colored in her collar and put glossy accents on it, and she's got little pearl earrings. And that's my over the edge pocket for the letter O. And that's the second signature. Here is another of the aged acetate pockets. This one is also removable, and I have glued it to a paper doily and added a little bitty doily that is lace to the front with a small brad through the middle of the lace. So there's its embellishments. Here's another of the quad quilt pockets, and on this one I've inked. I added white pops of color on here and gold sparkle marker in the yellow part, and then these 2 tags I've stuck into the center instead of sticking in these sides like I did on the other ones, which they would have to be much smaller tags. These two just kind of overlap each other in here. How did I have that? I just did that wrong. That one goes, oh, okay. That one goes there, and that one goes there. There we go. And then I also left it open, made a little thumb notch there, left it open on the back, and that one's removable. You don't have to know that it's removable, I guess, but this is another of the vellum vignette pockets, but I did go ahead and make this one to be in here permanent because there's a tuck on the back, and then there's just the pocket on the front. Right here. Let's see, where'd my paper go? There it is. So you got the big tuck on the back for something larger. And then you've got this pocket right there. And what I like about these is you don't realize that there's something on the back that you can see until you pull out the tag on the front. And I embellished that with some ink because when you cut or punch vellum, sometimes you end up with a white ridge because it is plastic. So when you cut plastic, sometimes it discolors and it's not clear anymore. And I added, let's see, I added this sticker. Oh, I see it now. And I've got gold marker dots scattered around. Here's my easy extension pocket. And there you've got writing space and more writing space. And it creates a pocket so you can place a piece of writing paper inside and have even more writing space. And I've inked that and stamped that. Washi tape is added back here, and then I also have the label. Here's another halfway home belly band. This one's a little different than the other one, so it's going to stay in here too. I just made this one have a larger space on the bottom for one pocket, one belly band, sorry, and another belly band up here. So it's actually two belly bands, a double belly band. And it's embellished with washi tape and butterfly punches and the label. Here is another of the undercover underwriting pockets. It's embellished with ink and washi and a stamp right there. I didn't know if the paper clip would count as an embellishment or not, so I'm not counting it, although it does go with it. Here I have a neatly neat the page pocket, and we have a pocket that goes here and one that goes here all the way over to the side, and then a little shallow one right here, and it's been inked and has washi tape and a label and a stamp. And then that repeats on the back side with the same 1, 2, 3 pockets. Here's the second of the boho book page beads. The first one that I made, you couldn't really see the book page. And then the second one that I made, you couldn't see the fabric. And then the third one that I made, it's starting to come together. I haven't practiced that again, and I still need to. Here's the second kimono pocket. This one is one that stays in here, and it's been inked and stamped and washied and has the label on it. And that's the third. Is that the third signature? Yes, it is. All right, so on to the fourth. I chose these papers just because I bought one of those packs that you can get at Hobby Lobby when they're clearancing out papers and it's all bundled up. And these were on either end of it, and I thought, oh, those are pretty. And then I saw this in the middle, didn't realize it was the back of this one. The whole pad was, or the whole pack was this. Usually it's a mixture. So I am not having any problem using that just to use it. Plus, I think that it went well, especially that hollyhock with that blue. That looks gorgeous. All right, here is the magical multiple page pocket, and this one will be staying in the journal. And again, this opens up and opens out, and this one opens up and opens out, and then you have a pocket back here. And that's been inked, and that's been inked, and it has a piece of paper here with some washi on it and a label, and that is another little pocket right on the front. Here is my stacked strip side pockets, and that's just 3 strips of paper and just barely overlapped and just glued on the ends for these 2. This one is glued here, and it creates 3 different levels of pockets. And that is embellished with ink, with washi, with a sticker, and a label. Here is the second of the Pretty Pebbles. No. Pretty Pressed Petals tags. And this one is a fabric flower that I have used the packing tape over. And then I used liquid pearls to create the center. I added on some rickrack and I inked. And then I added rickrack for a tie. And I thought that turned out pretty cute. Here is another of the over-under riders, and it's just put in on an angle. Whoops, that needs to go back in there. Again, you go in here and there's the pocket, and here is the flip down writing. This one I didn't make out a book page. This one I made out of scrapbook paper, and I've inked, and I have washi tape, and I've stamped, and I have a label there. And then wraparound tag. Oh my goodness, I had to go through the entire alphabet. Wraparound tag. And this piece here is the keeper. It swivels over to the side, and then these are envelopes, little mini envelopes that wrap around the tag. So you've got space to tuck in those 3 places, and you can write on the back, you can write on the inside here. You could actually write on the back of that tag, and then when it swivels over, nobody knows it's there. And then this just closes right back up. And for embellishments, I have inked, I've splattered, I have stamped, and I added hole reinforcers on that along with an eyelet. And I just slid that right over the paper clip there. Here is a drop-down double pocket, and it's really simple. I just take a piece of paper, fold it in half, and let it hang down off the bottom of the paper. And you've got a pocket right there. And this has been splattered with black ink. Gold glitter ink or marker was used to draw around each of those little areas, a circle. It has a label and a label. And then on the back, it has the same things, except for the second label. Here's another of the fun funky fold pockets. This one is on removable dots. And that's the 4th signature. Here is, it's my Lincoln log pocket. And in theory, in my head, it worked really well. I'm gonna have to work on it because the idea was really good. The actual product needs some finagling. But it is just layers of, I think, 8 strips of paper. And I just stacked them up Lincoln log style, moving each layer in just a little bit. Because not only do you have the pocket on the back, but then you've got a pocket tuck there and a pocket tuck here and just all over the place. And I think if these are like half the size, then it works twice as well. It has been stamped and it has gold glitter marker on it and the label. And then here is the first of the 3 pretty pressed petal tags. This is the first one I made. These are actually dried violets that I had from last year. I have added rickrack and a brad up here and a piece of washi tape back here to cover up the back side of the brad. And I just tucked that right in there. And I thought it looked cute peeking through there. I will work on that because I like the concept. Here is one of my ready ribbon pulls for the letter R, and this is just put in here so that you can pull on that end of the ribbon, and it helps to pull the card or whatever out, but it stays attached. And I have this little cutout here that has been inked in 2 different colors, and then I have 2 little fake pearls on either end of the ribbon, and I have a label right there. And the ribbon, to put it back together, you will just tuck in your whatever your insert is that goes in your envelope and then close it down. The ribbon has been fed through a hole back here, and so it stays and doesn't slide through the envelope. This I'm going to leave in here because it's going to be Julie's double tuck. That'll be my page for the double tuck. But it's not part of this challenge, so I didn't finish it yet. I have lots of places to put more pockets, and I'm excited about that. This is a crisscross pocket. And it has been, I have used black ink to embellish the edges. I used the gold glitter marker to draw around each of the circles. It's got a label on it, and when we get to the other side, you'll know why I'm laughing. Here is the third of the boho book page beads. Actually, this is the first one that I made that had no book page showing. And it is holding, I missed that first flap. It is holding the third of the magical multiple tag pockets. And again, that opens up, this one opens up, and it's got a pocket on the back. This is another one that I have the removable glue dots on. Oh, it's inked and stamped and has washi tape. How about that? Let's see, is that the next page? Yes. This is the third of my my vellum vignette pockets. This one opens to the side, right here. And at the top for the tall pocket. And I have embellished it with some silver marker dots, which you can just barely see if you're sitting here looking at it in real life. So I probably need to make those a little darker. And a label that also has the silver marker and a die cut bow on top. This is why I'm laughing. I put it in upside down. So my pockets are upside down. But imagine it's right side up and it's tucking in like that. It works better that way. Here's the third of the tea bag tag ties, and I inked around the edges of the tea bag tie, the tag, tea bag tag, and around the edges of this tag, and I used black ink, gold glitter marker, and silver metallic marker to decorate the front. And I added some, let's see, what was this? This was paper that I took out of the back of piece of artwork that I got at Goodwill, and I saved the paper. It's really thin. It's thinner than paper bag. And then I added black ink and the gold glitter marker. And I'll just tuck that right up in there because it won't go in the other way. I feel kind of silly, but it's reference, so it'll be okay. Here's the third of the kimono pockets. It's been inked, has washi tape, stamped, a label, and inside is another of the third of the inside out ink splatter index cards. Here is the third of the aged acetate pockets. I have embellished it with a book page. You can see the picture of the two ladies on the shield, and some washi tape, two different kinds of washi tape, and some gold glitter marker on top of the washi tape. And here is my third halfway home belly band. I have embellished it with ink splatter in gold and green and some shade of pink, and I have added popped up on a piece of foam tape this rose die cut. Then I have some washi tape down here and a label. And that, well, there's the back. That doesn't look upside down, which is how come I got this upside down, because I was looking at the back. So there is my my April Anything Goes Junk Journal Challenge journal. For Dear Julie, Julie's collaboration. I won't say I had fun. This was hard. And I think part of it was I made it harder because I wanted to be alliterative on everything. And alliteration takes time. But I thought of a lot of things that I still want to go through and do, and that I'm going to do in here. Thank you for joining me today. Tell me, what was your favorite part of this journal? I realize that you may not have a favorite part at all. You may have liked the whole thing. Try to pick one thing that really caught your attention. Even if it was just the fact of the whole silliness of this idea, which isn't silly. It's not silly. It's just unsellable. And that's fine, because it's for me anyway. Thank you for joining me today. I will have Julie linked below, and I encourage you to go and check her out. Check out the hashtag AAGJJC and see what all of the other talented people have created this month with this challenge. And I just want to remind you, be kind. Bye.